Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the Tradewaiters podcast, the comic book club, where we read a different trade paperback every single week. A different giant robo comic every single week.
For the next couple fucking weeks, baby.
I'm Daniel and you're Nathan. We're brothers. We read robot comics.
Tradewaiters, as Daniel puts it.
Now I gotta leave that in
Yeah.
for continuity's sake.
Yep, you do. Like to make it harder for you.
We got different time codes in our description. We got the book, which is Dawnrunner. We got Back Matter Matters in the poll list, but we start with the news. What kind of news you got?
Dude, I don't know if I have much. Let me see. Yeah, I didn't actually look for any news this week.
No news from Nathan.
No news.
Nathan.
My bad. What you got?
Not comics news. Dexter Resurrection, July 11th.
That's a comic?
Yeah.
We saw, wait, there's a,
Close enough.
is that like the second season of that? Or is it like a
It's a new
new
show,
spin-off season?
but it's like a sequel to the last thing that they did, like Dexter.
First Blood or whatever it's called?
No, that's the prequel.
Oh, God.
It's the sequel to the sequel, Nathan.
There's a sequel season?
Yeah. What the fuck was it called?
Last Blood.
You know what? You might be onto something. Dexter Original Sin. Wait, no. Original Sin's the prequel. New
Yeah.
Blood
New Blood.
was the sequel series that came out in 2021.
Okay.
Dexter Resurrection is the sequel to that. So it's basically like Dark Horse Comics. They just keep like rebooting stuff and naming it something different.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, it could just been like, a second season 2 or something, but oh well.
Did we know that there's a Captain Planet #1 coming?
Didn't that come out this week?
Did it come out this week?
Yeah, David Pepose or whatever.
Oh, yeah, it is. Never mind. We knew that.
Stop making up news, Nathan.
I'm not making up news. I'm trying to find news.
Your dated news. It'll be even more dated by the time this comes out.
Yep, it will be.
Nathan, you know the book Revival
Yeah.
by Tim Seeley?
Yeah, that's getting an adaptation.
TV show, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Coming to sci-fi.
I think I read the first couple issues of that and I was like, all right,
Yeah, it'll be coming out
it's I.
June 12th.
Wait, that early?
Yeah, pretty soon.
Wait,
Like
what the hell? Was there a trailer?
a trailer dropped like this week, yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't see that.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, June 12th. That's like a week away from when this comes out. Ish.
Yeah, it might be out.
It might be out already.
Yeah.
Damn. Pretty cool.
Got to pivot and read Revival.
Check that shit out.
Nathan,
What's up?
Godzilla news. Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone is a new series coming
Mhm.
August 6th. They actually have a couple. They're all featured in like the Free Comic Book Day issue.
Oh, okay. I haven't read the Godzilla one yet.
But I heard about this news before I read that.
Okay, nice.
And it features like a kaiju human hybrid.
Ew.
Yeah.
I don't like to think about that. Does it still look like Godzilla?
Does
Or-
Godzilla fuck a person?
Yeah, how does that work?
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, cool.
Nathan, you like the movie Event Horizon?
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Probably haven't.
Have you?
It's a movie from like the 90s.
Hmm.
I have not seen it.
Hmm.
But it's getting a prequel comic,
Cool.
Event Horizon Dark Descent.
We need more of those, I think. Just like either prequels or sequels to movies that are just comics.
I agree.
I think it's cool.
It'll be written by Christian Ward.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 5-issue mini from IDW coming out August 20th.
Hmm. This is somewhat. Actually, it's not at all. But you know Alex Garland?
Yeah,
He's going to be doing an A24 Elden Ring movie.
I heard that. And maybe.
And maybe seems too good to be true. But Elden Ring has manga, so close enough.
Alex Garland, the creator guy?
The creator guy.
Or
No,
is he the Civil War guy?
He's a Civil War guy.
Who's the creator guy?
The creator guy, dude, you got me all fucked up now because you were fucked up. Because I normally know, dude, it's like Brian.
No.
No, he did Rogue One, which was made by, what's it start with?
G.
G? George? Lucas.
What?
No. That's his first name starts with a G?
Yeah.
What's his last name start with?
E.
I don't remember. What is it?
Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards. Yeah, it's a fucked up name.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I'm like, I don't think anyone else has this first name.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so that'll be cool if that happens. I like that game. I've been playing it more recently.
Nice. That seems hard because it seems big.
It is hard, but I watched a video on how to make it not hard.
Oh.
Because I miss a lot of fundamental aspects of the game that just like make it a lot harder, you know? But then I see videos of people like beating the whole game on level 1 or like without a weapon, and it's kind of sick at the same time. So it's like technically I probably could have beat it if I just smashed my head in the wall enough times.
Aren't you trying to do it without magic or something?
Yeah, which still makes it pretty fucking hard.
It seems, yeah, like it would be like...
So without summons, and then without... I mean, I kind of have magic. I have magic like on my weapon, but it's not like I'm not shooting a lightning bolt or anything. I still have to hit him with my weapon.
Yeah, that's fair.
The weapon just like catches on fire.
I think Deathstroke had like a magic sword one time. It's called like the God Killer.
That's cool.
And it was like, it had like some magic to it, but he was not magic himself.
That's a fun idea.
Yeah, it was okay.
Is there a character where like, if you unsheath like a katana or like a sword of some kind, it like gives you powers and then you like have to kill somebody with it before you can even put it away? Is that a thing I made up in my mind, or have you heard of that before?
It's like a sword boner.
It's like a sword boner, yeah. And you got to bust.
Get the post-nut depression or
post-kill clarity.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
No. Okay. I don't know. I feel like that could be like the plot for like the Sixth Gun or something. Like you have to fire it or something.
Oh, maybe.
I haven't read that, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
You might be onto something.
I might be onto something.
Maybe cut this?
Maybe I'm cutting. Yeah.
Should we cook with this?
Yeah. I think so.
Start with an age pager, go from there?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Nathan.
Yes.
New Black Cat series is coming.
A new Black Cat? Really?
Yeah, coming August 20th.
Is that part of the Marvel, like, there's a bunch of villains now?
It's part of Marvel.
I know, but like, there's like a...
Black Cat's a villain?
There's like a bunch of series coming out. There's like a Green Goblin one that's going to come out from the guys that have that one podcast with Donny Cates.
Yeah. They have like...
It's like Griffin and Ethan or something, but...
Something like that.
Yeah.
They have like a name.
Yeah. They're the guys that made Kill Your
Boys
Darlings.
Or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. The guys that made the Kill Your Darlings are doing Green Goblin.
They're currently doing a podcast with Matthew Rosenberg now.
Wait, really?
Yeah. It's okay.
I'll check that out. It's okay.
Written by G. Willow Wilson and art by Gleb Melnikov.
Gleb Melnikov? Wait, that guy is kind of nice.
You know Gleb?
Yeah, I follow him on Twitter. I know
you
Gleb.
fuck with Gleb?
I fuck with Gleb.
What do you know Gleb from?
He's done some Batman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's good Batman. I'm like, look at this guy.
Dude, so many fucking autocorrects typing out his name.
From Green.
Yeah.
Metropolis.
But anyway, Nathan, it is Mech Month.
Mech Month.
What did we read this week?
We read Dawnrunner by Ram V, Evan Cagle, Dave Stewart, Francesco Segala, and Aditya Bidikar.
Good pronunciations. You practice that in the mirror?
No, I've read a lot of these names and I'm like, how do you even say that? But pretty fucking gnarly.
Pretty good.
I can tell it's going to be a damn good month.
Or we just started strong.
Or we just did the best thing we possibly could. We blew our load early, I think. Because this fucking rules.
Did like...
It rules so hard.
Did we ruin our expectations for other things?
That's okay.
Is it good because it's a giant robot book? Or is it just like...
No.
Okay. So, we're on the right track,
I think we're on the right track, yeah.
Like a loose definition. There is giant robots, though.
Yeah.
This could also...
ginormous. 100%.
This could also be considered like a kaiju book, I would say.
Yeah. But, those things can mix. That's fine.
Yeah, we got plenty of kaiju stuff. So
yeah.
We need more giant robot stuff.
100%. But this book is pretty incredible. I think the duo of Ram V, Evan Cagle, pretty awesome.
They need to make comics forever, probably.
They should. I think contractually,
no one else
Ram
can
V
have
should
Evan
figure
Cagle.
something out with Evan to like hang on to him for fucking forever. Because this is sick, and they're currently on New Gods, which is also sick. It's like one of my favorite things. But it's mainly sick because Cagle is pretty like he's fucking nice at what he does.
He's nice with it.
He is nice with it, and I think Ram V just kind of puts him in situations where he could just do cool shit. But I think Cagle like carries the entire thing for sure.
Definitely. It's like
this would not be as cool or exciting without the identity of this artist.
It's like 80%.
100%. Yeah, definitely. That's a 100%, 80% Cagle.
100%?
100% Cagle. It would be, honestly, kind of. If there were no word balloons, good ass book.
Evan Cagle rules 100% time on 80% of this book.
Yeah, yep, exactly. But yeah, pretty cool. I mean, big robot fight big monster, not necessarily super innovative, but there's a little twist in here that I think makes it kind of interesting. Because I remember when I first read it, I was like, oh, it's kind of when I read the first issue, it's like, okay, Pacific Rim ish.
Yeah,
but
definitely strong.
There's a bigger twist than what like Pacific Rim had
from
to do.
that.
Yeah,
it's definitely a very strong number one. I remember reading that and it like blew me away.
Yeah,
it didn't necessarily like play out how I thought it would, but that's not necessarily like a bad thing.
Yeah,
I
fell off of it because I was behind on comics and I couldn't read very.
You forgot how to read English.
Forgot how to read, and so
Your
I'm
third
like,
language.
I don't know what's going on.
Right.
But no, just like reading it all in one go is such a cool experience. I think. Like.
Yeah, that's the plus of like a mini series. For
sure.
It's like you just experience it all at once rather than like chipping away at it.
Yeah, because I remember when I read like issue 2 and 3. I don't even know if I picked up 4. I can't remember if I did, but I was just trying to remember who all the characters were and like kind of what the situation was going on. But that's just on me because I'm dumb. But this is great, all in one.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of wish it was longer.
Yeah,
because I think you could have accomplished a lot and kind of expanded a little.
Yeah,
if it was like 12.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think I'm no matter what, always I kind of prefer a maxi series over like any other format.
Maxi meaning like 12-ish?
12-ish,
okay.
Yeah. Makes like a real nice deluxe,
Yeah.
So, but we never really review maxis.
A strong deluxe goes a long way for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, should we get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it. So it's like, is it the future? I assume it's the future. There's big robots. But at this point, about 100 years before this, there's a portal that opened up that will occasionally drop huge monsters called Tetza. And Anita Mar works for Cordenware, which is one of the 5 big corporations that builds giant mechs called Iron Kings that fight off the Tetza. And when they do that, it's all televised. And people are like, fuck yeah, they're fighting a big fucking robot, or they're fighting a big fucking monster. And so Anita is testing out a new Iron King prototype called the Dawnrunner. And so Anita connects with the Dawnrunner and fights a Tetza outside the wall. But during the fight, Anita starts mixing memories or something with some random guy named Ichiro Takeda. And we're like, what the hell is that? And that's pretty much this issue. Again, Evan Kagel absolutely carries. Next level. There's like definitely like manga inspiration storytelling, but with his own like flair of balancing this like massive scale and like perfect like perspective and just all of this crazy stuff. Like he might be the GOAT.
Scale.
Because like the design of this Tetza is awesome.
Yeah,
like the big monster.
It's super fun.
Yeah, it's like that is some crazy shit.
I'm like, how do you come up with that?
I know. I like it's crazy, and it's fucking huge because he provides the context like when you need it. And then when the Dawnrunner comes out, I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Like,
look at that mouth.
The mouth is crazy. I think it's a little hard to read because of
how weird it is.
How weird it is. I think if you just had like a slightly bigger head, or if it's colored differently, I would know what I'm looking at. Because the head is, especially when you first see it, there's like this huge, like the head's in the middle. Like you can't even tell where the head is.
You're talking about the
no, yeah, of the Dawnrunner.
Yeah. That was kind of. I agree with that.
Yeah.
That even like in action, it can be kind of hard to kind of piece together what you're looking at.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like super detailed and
then when it gets damaged, you're like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all just a jumble.
I think it's
mess.
winning.
It's spaghetti. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the Dawnrunner design, it's pretty cool and unique as well. And the debut of it, like seeing it launch out of the lab that it was put in.
Yeah, dude.
It's so cool. Like just putting the like this
fucking speed we like don't see again.
I know.
It's like a Jedi dash.
You see it, I think at the end, it's just not clear that that's what happened.
There's no foosh or whatever.
Yeah.
A shfoom.
A shfoom.
No shfooms.
Big shfoom in the beginning. Because like, it was so cool because it feels like incredibly fast.
Like epic, you know? But yeah. How do you feel about the name of these things being Iron Kings?
Little lame.
It kind of sounds like the name of like a swag brand or something.
Iron King.
Yeah.
And they make like shirts that
Yeah.
they sold at like
Like across the shoulders
just
and shit.
at, like Hot Topic. Yeah, I think that name they start calling them IKs, and I'm like, that doesn't like roll off the tongue very easily either.
They're called icks.
Icks. That name gives me the ick, dude.
So I guess in this universe, all the nations just kind of dissolved into like 5 companies.
Yeah.
And they all just make these.
Yeah.
And that's just what life is.
Which is it's interesting because we see mainly Cordenware, which is the one that Anita works for, and then we see like 1 or 2 other ones briefly,
like competitors. Or whatever.
Competitors. But I don't really know anything about what they specialize in or anything. I don't need that. I just think it's interesting that he's like, yeah, there's 5 corporations.
I just find it weird that like the world just would fall into this like essential capitalism to where there's like no longer borders and governments, you know. It's just like survival.
Well, I don't know if it seems like they're all in one big dome as well.
Yeah, so there's like walls.
Are there multiple
keep
domes?
The monsters in?
Yeah,
because that's like it's built around like that portal thing.
Yeah,
so very Attack on Titan, you know.
Yeah, you think you'd want to be like away from that thing.
Yeah,
not like situate yourself pretty close to it. But I like that society has turned like killing Tetzas into just like a televised sport.
It's like the UFC.
Can you imagine gambling on that shit, dude?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it would go crazy.
Under over.
Yeah, like is he gonna die? How long does he last?
Yeah.
Type shit. What opening move does he start with?
Yeah, a punch or a kick.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's funny. But so the twist on typical mech piloting is that there's a connection between the mech and the pilot, and they have to like vibe essentially. Like there's a chance that they don't vibe enough, and that would mean that the mental connection between them makes them worse at fighting, I think. Because she was afraid of going into Dawnrunner because she's like, it'll be like going on a first date, but I could die. And she was like, I don't want to leave the last.
I mean, all women
King.
going on a first date could die.
This is true.
It's like the biggest risk they could possibly take.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. So you know what? I'm a step back.
You want to expand on that?
I'm gonna check myself a little bit on this one.
So the Tetzas have been like around for like 100 years.
Yeah.
To kind of just give like some perspective on how long this has been going on.
Yep.
There's a panel I really like where like there's just she's in the Dawnrunner, I think, and she's connected to all these tubes and stuff.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, I love some tube core.
I love a lot of tubes.
Mm-hmm. It just looks like connected. It just really lends itself to the whole like manga and also like futurism kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. He's bringing a lot of that. It's super cool. And I guess this mech, or maybe a lot of mechs, but this mech in particular can like self-heal.
Okay.
That's like a thing that I think a lot of them can. There's like some sort of technology in there where they can like heal a little bit.
It's pretty reckless because I think they launched this one early.
Yeah.
Like they hadn't had like enough testing or anything.
Yeah. So this is definitely like a prototype.
Pretty sketch.
Pretty interesting. And in this mech, she's also there's not only a bunch of tubes, but she's also in like a big like tub of water.
Little bath
thing. What are those chambers you can go into? It's like a zero gravity or sensory deprivation chamber. Is that what it's called? Yeah. So that's kind of what this one is.
That's the right word.
maybe that helps the connection between you and the
nothing around you
and
the
stuff. Mech. Yeah. So pretty cool. Good first issue. Look at this cover, dude.
Pretty good.
I'm like, come on. What are you doing to me? So issue 2, we meet Annie, which is Anita's kid, and she is sick with some sort of like Tetza virus or disease that's like shutting down her organs. She's constantly in the hospital. Mr. Lestern, who's the owner of Cordenware, which is where Anita works, wants to know why Anita and Dawnrunner went down during the pilot fight, but then she like comes back a couple minutes later, but like super strong. And so he's trying to figure out about that. Anita's friend, Kat, in the lab reveals that the Dawnrunner is prototyping having a preserved brain of deceased soldiers serve as the like central computing unit to help with the connection between the pilots and, or I guess they called them jockeys, I think. The jockeys in the actual mech itself. And they used Ichiro Takeda for Dawnrunner, which is the guy that she was seeing at the end of the first issue. So Anita connects back into the OS of Dawnrunner and helps Ichiro in his memories find his kids after a Tetza attack. So these are like memories of a dude that exists like 100 years ago, and they just happen to like preserve his brain for this project. And so the memories, when she's like there with Ichiro, those are actually like just his memories, which is kind of trippy.
Yeah, and like the point of that is if there's something human that she's like connecting to that's in it, that'll help with like reaction times and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is makes sense why they do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes sense.
I don't know
conceptually.
I don't know if they thought that like she would kind of adopt all of the memories of this dude that she doesn't know.
Probably a side effect.
But it's also kind of crazy because in the store, like in Ichiro's memories, he's like, "Who are you talking to me?" And she's like, "It's complicated." And she's like, I live like 100 years in the future to you, essentially.
Yeah.
But that guy's just remembering stuff from 100 years ago. Yeah, it's just like such a crazy concept, but it works. So I think it's pretty cool.
Now, you know how I noticed people's feet in comics?
Yeah.
Dude, this CEO dude had his dogs out.
Dude, he never wears shoes. It's he wears a full suit, but no shoes. In the car.
That's disgusting.
That's kind of gross. He's smoking in the car.
On a rainy day?
His dogs are out on a rainy day.
Ew.
How did he get in there? Did someone carry him?
I guess he just fucking walked in rainwater.
Yeah.
Pretty gross.
Annie, the kid, definitely holds on to like the Iron Giant, right? Like that's definitely who that is.
Yeah.
Right. We're not trying to like make it a vague sort of represent. That's just him.
It might have been like a rebooted design or something, but
yeah, maybe like that's what the initial Iron Kings look like. But I love the like shining flare effect in action. And he does it a lot when he's like fighting things. Like you can tell when he locks in because the eyes of like the actual Dawnrunner, like to do like a little lens flare thing. That's pretty fucking sweet.
Did you bring up that like the Dawnrunner like went out for like 4 minutes or something?
Yeah, it like went down, but then when it came back, she like locked in and was super strong.
Yeah.
I also really like this page of the Dawnrunner like mounted in this lab. And it's like a bunch of people working on it to repair it and stuff, but it's like
it's parked.
Damn, that thing's huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like when in like I think it was the first Transformers movie where they had Megatron like mounted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a scene like that.
In the scenes where the Tetza and the Dawnrunner are fighting, he's still able to like capture that like scale of how big these things are, because they'll throw in like these like drone things that are filming it, and they'll do a lot of like top down shots just to show like compared to like the trees like how big these fucking things are, because like sometimes if it's like Godzilla versus King Kong and they're just fighting, it doesn't really seem like they're that big, unless there's like cityscape or something
that they're fighting around, you know.
Right so it's cool to still, I think I love just big shit.
I love big shit, dude.
So when it's big, I need to know it's big. Yeah. You know?
And so put a tree somewhere.
And so just keeping that feeling like, oh, this is some big shit. Big fights. Big punches.
Big fights. There should be just like a standardized thing where people can like figure it out with math if they really wanted to.
How to make something look big? Yeah,
like put like a specific model of car or something, and then people can like take, you know, that guy on TikTok that like figures out people's height.
Oh yeah, that guy's crazy.
Yeah. So, or like just put something
like
that's
just
like
looking at their phone or something.
Yeah.
He's like, I found this little side table.
Yeah, this is the iPhone 6, which is actually this feet tall. So if you stack those up a couple times, that guy's crazy. But yeah, that's how I feel. I'll like look at a tree and I'm like, okay, that looks like a pretty big tree. You know,
oak tree.
Yeah, oak tree, the average
max
size.
Out at 10 feet.
Way bigger than 10 feet. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't know. I don't know trees. You a tree guy?
I know it's more than 10 feet.
Looking forward to Arbor Day, are you?
I don't know what that means.
Arbor Day?
Arbor Day?
Yeah, it's like tree day.
Why do we have a tree day? What have they ever done for us?
Plant a tree, give us oxygen and toilet paper, I think.
I don't believe that. I'm just kidding.
Dude, trees give us comics, bro.
Oh, true.
Plant a tree.
Oh, I love Arbor Day then. I'm a big fan. I like the transition effect between like Anita and Ichiro, like kind of going back and forth. There's like the little...
Looks like a pain in the dick to draw.
It looks like a big pain in the ass, but it's a pretty cool effect. the sort of glitchy.
Also, like the panel layouts change based on what's happening.
Oh yeah, he's so good at like action layouts.
Oh, like brilliant. Yeah,
it's so cool.
Shit's like diagonal.
Yeah,
the
that's
triangles.
That's how you know it's faster. Like there's some shit going on.
Shit's happening. Yeah, that's
so
good.
So good. He's great. So issue 3. So in the past, Ichiro needs to take his kids to a base where it's safe. And so that's kind of the B plot there. Mr. Lestern puts Anita and Dawnrunner back on the roster to fight more Tetza. And over the coming weeks, Dawnrunner exceeds when other Iron Kings kind of get like fucked up. And Anita's kid Annie has a medical emergency, putting her in critical care. But when she's stable, there's a code red, sort of off the charts alert for a really scary big Tetza that came through the portal. And that code red Tetza looks goopy as hell. Like the last page of this issue.
Oh my goodness, so much swiping. Yeah, very goopy.
Yeah, it's super goopy. I'm like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I'm like,
so that's pretty cool.
We need Saitama right now.
Yeah.
This is just some shit that randomly pop up, and
he just,
everyone would else try and fight him, and then he just comes in at the last issue or whatever.
There was another Tetza called Jawline, and I thought that one was amazing. I just like the name of it, and then seeing that he's called Jawline, and then you see this side profile of him with like this like crazy jaw. I'm like,
derpy as fuck.
This is so cool. But yeah, this is like an example of one of the top down shots, because like there's a drone that's like filming the whole thing, and you see how big they are.
Yeah,
pretty sweet. But yeah, Dawnrunner is doing pretty cool, and there's this sweet page where when Dawnrunner like chops that Jawline Tetza in half, there's just like a whole lot of aura on this page, because in the background you see like Anita's eyes, and she's giving like bad bitch eyes, you know what I mean? Because she knows she's fucking nice with it. And I just like, I love that. It works so well. Like you only see her eyes, but the eyes are acting in such a certain way where you're like, yeah, she knows what she just did. And I think that's so impressive. She knows she has aura.
For sure. So I guess Anita is like experiencing Ichiro, that's his name?
Yeah, Ichiro.
Ichiro's like memories like incorrectly. Like the things that are happening like aren't happening.
It's like how Ichiro remembers.
Right. But it's not what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they got a file on this guy.
Yep. They mentioned like the motivation for Anita to fight the Tetza so she can make the world safe for Annie. That's like one of her big motivations. Or I think she kind of like also wants revenge on like the disease
just
they gave
move
her. Yeah,
I mean, there's that. Yeah,
that's like not a great way to go about it. To be like, oh, I'm gonna fight all of them and make it safer for my child. You know?
Yeah.
That's like saying, oh, I want to keep my kids safe from demons, so I'm gonna just go to hell and like fight all the demons to make it safe for her. Like,
what would you do?
You are a single parent. You could die any day.
Yeah,
doing this. So I don't really know if that's like a great justification for you to put your life on the line pretty consistently.
Right. I thought it was pretty neat that the Tetza, they like were calling for help, you know, and then the Queen Tetza or whatever just comes through.
Big Tetza.
Yeah, big Tetza. I don't know how I feel about the portal thing.
The portal's like a little slit in the air.
Yeah,
it's pretty big, but I don't know. It seems like they were trying to go Northern Lights kind of with it.
Yeah, I think I just kind of, it'd be cool.
You just prefer like circular or oval?
Not like the portal design necessarily, but like, what if they like were coming up from like the Earth kind of thing?
That's too Pacific Rim though.
That is too Pacific Rim.
Yeah, because they come from the ocean, I think.
Or they just all like, what is it, like angel dive? You know,
that'd be cool.
They just show up.
Like there's a rift in space and they just like meteor dive down.
Yeah, there's some weird mini black hole or thing that only shoots shit out, you know, and it just happens to be Tetza's. And they all do superhero landings.
Yeah, but if they're out in space, I think they wouldn't know where to like place themselves. Like the whole, like, where do you even build a wall at that point? You know what I mean?
If they all land in the same place,
I guess
they're all delivered.
I guess that would be a stipulation.
Around lunchtime.
They're on the clock.
Yeah.
I think it's fine, like where it is, but yeah, I do agree that the design of it's a little funky because it's just a little.
Like it's just a MacGuffin. Like they got to get there somehow.
It looks like it's like 500 feet in the air too. You know, it's not like in the atmosphere or anything.
Yeah. It works.
Yep. So issue 4, there are a ton of Iron Kings that like first respond to this Tetza. They're calling it Prime because it's so big and it fucks up a lot of the Iron Kings. And even Dawnrunner has been knocked down. And so Anita's mind becomes so connected to Dawnrunner and Ichiro that they don't really know where Anita's mind ends and like the other mind begins. So it's a big problem. They're like, we got to get her out. But in Ichiro's mind, they are also running from a Tetza with his kids. He's trying to take them to a base to make it safe. But it's revealed that Ichiro's kids were killed when that first Tetza came through in his memories. So the ones in this story are just like incorrect memories that he's been having. And Anita has to like tell him that. But after she does, Anita's like mind fully melts into like Dawnrunner
and body.
And body.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like melts.
She's just absorbed.
She's absorbed by the little sensory deprivation chamber thing.
Yeah.
But she fully melts into Dawnrunner, and Dawnrunner wakes up ready to fight Prime.
Is that when the healing starts?
I think so.
Okay.
Because when he wakes up, he has like Dawnrunner has like this organic looking healing.
Yeah, like
it has like a mouth now
kind of thing. Yeah.
And I was kind of confused by that. I didn't realize that Dawnrunner had a mouth again, and I'm like, I didn't think that was something that could.
It like had a face.
Did it have a face?
But now
before?
It's got a mouth.
Yeah, now it's got like teeth and shit. But it's kind of interesting that it does it, that they did it like that. But there's this page where I assume it's like Ichiro and Anita sort of like morphing together, and it's like it looks like gross, but like really good art. You know what I mean? Like some shit that you'd see at a museum.
Yeah, yeah.
Or something, or like in Renaissance art and be like, I don't know what was going on. This guy did a lot of drugs before he did this.
It looks like something that like
it's crazy.
That Daredevil villain Muse would paint.
Yeah, this is a Muse painting for sure.
But he would use like real bodies and make it like a sculpture or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, probably. But I was looking at it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, like what are we it's crazy.
So this book is 5 issues.
Yep.
This issue starts with a bunch of just like destroyed IKs or whatever.
Yeah.
And there could have just been an issue where they all get like whooped.
Yeah, that would have been kind of cool.
I would have preferred that. I don't like jumping in.
Yeah, we jumped into like after some tragic
I get
action.
like it's all about like Dawnrunner or whatever, but like showing like it's a little bit more of its like wrath would be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be cool because I think that would give it some time for like the other corporations to like send out their men, and like there's a big panic to try and get to this to like fight this Tetza.
Yeah.
And there's other like jockeys that we meet in this like briefly. So you get to see them like kind of charge towards this thing and then tragically get killed. And then Dawnrunner tries, and then not even Dawnrunner can like fight him off.
Yeah.
So like that, I agree. I think you could fit that issue into here.
The Prime Tetza has like these crimson bands that like like attacks with,
super
but
cool.
they kind of act like omega beams.
They're very omega beams.
They redirect like super quickly.
Maybe that's why they decided to do New Gods. They're like, oh, I kind of like this omega beam type thing.
We haven't even seen like Dark Side.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
But like it felt like the first time Dawnrunner went out, she didn't really put up a fight. You know,
she got knocked down, and then when she got back up, she's really good.
Right, but like
and then they
going back to like the first issue where she's like fucking zooming out.
Yeah,
like I just don't understand why she couldn't be like that fast in like this battle.
Oh, she was trying to get to Dawnrunner because she was at the hospital.
Right.
So she wasn't ready to like get deployed. So she got to drive. You know.
No, not just that, but like I feel like the Dawnrunner itself could have been faster. Like in combat, you know?
Yeah, I guess that's probably true. The Prime Tetza is like really upsetting to look at because there's like faces in there.
Yeah, that was weird.
That is some like actual anime shit. Like season finale anime monster. That's definitely what this is.
Yeah, like did it eat some people or something?
Yeah.
Where it's like
I don't know what caused it to have like human skulls that are like ginormous.
There's like a baby face in there.
Yeah,
baby faces.
Baby faces are really upsetting.
Pretty gross.
Yeah.
And going back to Dawnrunner being like bioorganically fused with Anita, it's like And when he gets like that mouth, it like screeches.
Yeah.
It like just develops a diaphragm.
Yeah, vocal cords.
Yeah. And
like huge teeth. Where do the huge teeth come from?
yeah, no. Anyway,
Cool.
Who knows?
Pretty cool though.
Yeah. And he just got teeth. That's where they came from.
Yeah. So issue 5, Dawnrunner is back up. It somehow grew wings because it's, organic.
Because that's cool.
It's organic and it's cool. And starts fighting Prime. There are more Iron Kings that like come in to back her up. Dawnrunner does this like big move that cuts through the Prime Tetza. And then she like, I think rips its face off and then does a big ground pound punch thing to beat Prime. And then Cordenware tries to retrieve this like new Dawnrunner and like study it or whatever, but the other Iron Kings from the different companies start to defend her. Dawnrunner flies off to the hospital, just abducts Annie, the kid, and replaces Anita with Annie to save her, but that sacrifices like Ichiro's part of Dawnrunner in there. And so now Anita's kid, Annie, is Dawnrunner, and they just can live their life and have little adventures now.
In Dawnrunner. Yeah.
So like your kid is now this huge mech and you have your kid back. She doesn't need to be in the hospital, which is wild. Great setup for a sequel. I might add as well. Imagine like a little kid in like a big mech suit.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. But so I think this is where I think the speed thing happens again, because there's like this move that he does and you see the foot and then it like disappears. And then there's this like really confusing double page spread. And I think that might be like an explosion, but I'm not sure.
Probably.
I'm not sure what this is. I thought it was like an ad or something. Because there's a bunch of destruction. But yeah. And so I think.
Well, yeah, some sort of like explosion from like, charging up and then like zooming.
And then like, yeah. And so I think that is when he like kind of just splits right through him, like right in the middle.
Yeah. And then just like kaiju gore.
Yeah, pretty sick.
Which is pretty gnarly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they find out that if he like overextends his little tendril omega beam things, you can like cut him off easier. So they try and do that. That doesn't seem to really impact how she manages to kill him either way, but
so
they did figure that out.
The crimson band looking things, like the Prime looks like metal as fuck, because like they'll come out of just the like, mouths of the faces.
So cool.
And like, ew, dude, their tongues.
Yeah. Also, organic Dawnrunner looks pretty fucking metal. Like, if I saw this, I wouldn't be like, we're saved. You know what I mean? Because that looks scary as fuck.
Is this like a better thing?
This would be like the greatest villain I've ever seen in a different comic book.
Yeah.
So pretty sweet.
Like when it gets like so intense like that, it just looks like kind of Greg Capullo to me.
Yeah, I could see him doing something like that if he did a big mech book.
Yeah, or if he just did
organic
like
mech, or like a big demon thing,
some commission or something. It'd look something like that.
Yeah,
but this with like all that additional like design, it made it like kind of hard to know what you were looking at.
Yeah,
necessarily.
This is where it gets. You have to like really stare at the panel. To
it's like so detailed that I'm like too stupid to figure out what's going
it's
on.
It's just jumbled. It's all like just a jumbled mess in my head. But I'm like, yeah, there's a big fight going on here. It's pretty cool. There's like a nice little moment where Ichiro and Annie have like a little hug as he's about to like sacrifice himself or whatever he has to do.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty good. Can you imagine this thing showing up to a hospital though?
No.
Like, how did he get Annie out of there?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy because like the Dawnrunner like absorbed her or whatever, but then like kind of spit her back out.
Yeah, I guess it pieced her back together in like the exact same way.
Yeah,
and spit her out. Yeah, because there's a panel where we see her like kind of melt into it, and like her eyeballs are like melting and shit as she's like getting too connected to Dawnrunner.
And then we get a 1-page recap page.
Yep, yeah, where it's like, here's what this guy is up to now.
Here's some pros to wrap this up.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. It's a bit rushed, sure, but it's whatever. The story's over.
Yeah,
and it's a nice little page where Annie's hanging out with her mom.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty cool.
So the daughter's in Dawnrunner, but Anita's out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Annie is like fully absorbed in there, like inseparable kind of deal. But yeah, Ram V, Evan Cagle are the best. They're the new dynamic duo to look out for. I
For
feel
sure.
like, especially with their new God stuff. But let's get into Back Matter Matters.
Back matter matters.
So we got some covers and some big hitters. I like the Matthias Bergara one. But we also got Tula Lote has been doing some stuff. And then also some variants from people I haven't heard of, but they have some pretty cool art. Like this Gax guy. I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
But I know it's cool. We got a Casper Wingard one as well.
Oh, it's just Gax. That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, did he even read the book?
Yeah, like what are all these
like,
things?
here's the final monster design if you want it.
Yeah. Felipe Andrade, of course. That's pretty cool. And then we got some designs as well. So we got, I assume it's Evan Cagle doing some like initial design work and talking to us about it and how they want. Anita like repping the Cordenware brand like it's a NASCAR driver jacket or something, which I think is pretty cool. And then some of him talking about like the Dawnrunner design and like his approach where he didn't want it to look too inspired by anything else, but obviously that's kind of hard to do.
They'll have like
and then,
huge thighs.
Oh yeah, I like
These things can squat.
100%. And then there's like a couple different color like choices that they did for Dawnrunner, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that.
You never think about like they could have gone with like a dozen different color designs.
Yeah, different skins.
Yeah,
it's fun.
And then there's some creator bios, and I like this because Evan Cagles is a visual artist working and living in Paris. And then everybody else has like a paragraph. So pretty cool. What would you rate this book, Daniel?
Give it I gotta have it. Gotta give it like rainbow sherbet. A lot of colors.
Nice.
A lot of fun stuff.
A lot of colors.
Very tasty.
Nice.
You know, and then you don't really need like toppings in that. So it's just kind of like good like as it is.
Mm-hmm.
You always want a little bit more when you're done. But maybe you shouldn't have more. You know?
Yeah, true.
You got the taste.
Yeah. At what point is it too much?
Mm-hmm.
I give this the biggest thing of popcorn you can get at a movie theater.
Ooh, like a tub.
Yeah, like a big tub of popcorn. You get your seasonings that you like. You put them on there. You know you're in for a good time. And I make it popcorn because if this was a movie, this would be the best popcorn movie.
Oh, for sure.
It would be so
You wouldn't
sweet.
take your fucking eyes off of it.
No, I wouldn't. So pretty sweet. It's probably what I was doing when we saw Pacific Rim. And is that the one that we movie hopped?
I think so.
We like movie hopped from the Wolverine to Pacific Rim.
I think I had Pacific Rim first and then the Wolverine.
Was it okay, yeah.
A lot of Asians that day.
Too many, some would say.
Yeah.
That was fun when we did that. 2 bangers as well.
Yeah, I know. We lucked out. That doesn't happen a lot nowadays, it feels like.
I don't even know who like Guillermo del Toro was, but I was like, that's a good movie.
Yeah. I almost watched like the sequel that they made.
Oh, I heard it's terrible.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to watch it.
I've seen it pop up at like my gym's movie thing that they play. There's like a movie theater inside the gym where there's like treadmills and ellipticals and shit. But there's a preview screen where you could see like what movie is playing, and I just saw parts of it then. I was looking at the action and I was like, this just doesn't seem as big.
Yeah, I was just looking at other Evan Cagle stuff.
He did some Superman and the Authority.
Did he? Yeah, I've seen that.
But that has multiple artists, so it's not all him. And I don't know what else he's done. I think he did some Detective Comics with Ram V.
Detective, yeah.
Which seems like it'd be pretty cool. I don't know why I didn't check that out at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's like relatively new as far as like comics goes.
Yeah, and Ram V just snatched him up.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Good man.
So let's go into the pull list. Pulling.
Shove in your box. The pull list. What did you shove in your box? So these are the releases from May 21st.
Okay.
We got Batman and Robin Year 1, number 7.
Cool.
I'm behind on that.
Yeah, Supermind.
Speaking of Ron B and Evan Cagle, we got New Gods number 6. And Superman Unlimited is coming out, number 1.
Yeah, that one, that's the Dan Slott one, right?
Yeah.
And like, is it Albuquerque?
Oh no.
It was some artist where I'm like, that would kind of hit. I feel like
here we go.
Yeah, so I might check that out. If it's
I think I like Dan Slott. I don't know if I've read Dan Slott.
Done a lot of Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was definitely.
Did we do his Fantastic Four?
I think we looked at it, but I don't know if we did it.
I don't think we did it either.
But
I've read
definitely out there.
The first couple of his Fantastic Four, and I liked it.
Yeah, Albuquerque,
yeah, that would be great. So, good stuff.
I just know him as like a Batman artist, so it's like it'll be interesting to see how he does because they're so like.
Isn't that the guy on
different? Like as far as like how the art
characters
goes. Yeah. Was he on? No, he wasn't the witches guy. That was Jock.
That's Jock. But he did American Vampire.
That's it. Yeah.
I think. But I haven't read that one yet.
The spooky Scott Snyder thing.
Mm-hmm. Pretty cool. What'd you read this week?
I read quite a bit, actually.
Nice.
And I read all of my free comic book day pickups.
Damn, nice.
I don't think I've ever done that ever.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. I think I just have 2 more.
Yeah.
That I have to read.
Read Godzilla, The New Heroes.
Okay, nice.
This has stories from the new Godzilla run that Tim Seeley's doing.
Cool.
Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone. And Starship Godzilla.
Wait, what?
Written by Chris Gooch.
Oh, I love the Gooch.
Yeah, so so it's like 8 pages of all of those.
Sweet.
I don't know if it's like the first 8 pages of that or they're like just preview pages. Read Conan, Scourge of the Serpent.
Nice. How was that?
It was okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I'd expect from Conan.
Yeah, most Conan stuff I've read is just like, all right.
Yeah, I just kind of want to like give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
I read Mark Spear's Monsters.
Dude, that is
number 0.
Crazy. I read that one too.
Isn't that fucking freaky?
I was reading it and I was like, I am scared.
Yeah.
Because like the clown in that one is so upsetting.
The King Clown.
Clown is gross.
Oh my God.
And then there's like, I was like really liking it. And then there's like a twist of like, oh, there's a clown hunter guy. And I'm like, oh, what the hell? And then it's like, oh, he's a demon. And then there's a clown gang. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, who the hell is this artist? This Mark Spears guy?
Yeah, he does like a lot of great like covers.
Does he have like a series? Like that?
Monsters. Yeah.
Is this like a reprint of that?
This is the number 0. I think it's on like 8 right now.
Oh, okay.
So it's just kind of getting people into it.
Yeah.
Coming from Keen Spot.
I think I'm hooked.
Yeah.
I don't know how to find the rest, but
I'm sure that I think there's probably a trade, if not coming soon.
That sounds cool.
I read Best of 2000 AD, which is which is like a British magazine, and it's got like some Judge Dredd in there.
Yep, the Frank Miller Judge Dredd, or
no, it's John Wagner.
Oh, okay.
Artist Jock. There's this
JOK or CK.
CK.
Oh, cool.
Dude, there's this book in here. So 2080 is like an anthology kind of thing. It's kind of like heavy metal.
Yep.
There's this book that's out. This is kind of like just giving you like little previews of like the stuff that's normally in 2000 AD. And there's this like Rogue Trooper.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, they adapted it into a video game.
Is it?
Yeah, I played it.
I really like this.
I haven't read the comic, but we should read it. We should have done that for War Month.
Ah, no, I know. I was like, this is fucking cool.
Yeah, Rogue Trooper.
They have like these like collections that they show at the end, and he's just like this like he's just like this like just trooper or whatever. He's got his shirt off.
Yeah, his shirt's off always.
And he's got like 3 like personalities or voices in his head, and so they're constantly like talking like to him.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
And it was just like a good story, even though how short it was.
Yeah, I haven't read any Rogue Trooper, but that sounds great.
There's also,
I didn't know it was a 2000 AD like anthology thing.
Yeah. There's also a Scarlet Traces story, and then Judge Anderson, which is like the lady Judge Dredd. And so those stories about that. So that's like a pretty popular like side character from Judge Dredd.
Cool.
And yeah, you can. I guess they have like trades of 2000 AD, which is neat.
Anthology month?
Dude,
that would be tough.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, it's just like features like a lot of big hitters and stuff like that.
So is this the kind of anthology where they're like ongoing anthologies?
Yeah.
So like how a manga typically is,
right,
when it's released.
But good stuff. I was always interested in 2000 AD, but they don't really like come here.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how you find them. You just have to. I guess someone has to just like sell them from the UK or whatever.
I guess so.
I read the IDW Dark.
Yeah,
thing.
I did too.
It's got a story for Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring.
Yep.
The sequel to the book we reviewed.
Pretty excited for that.
30 Days of Night, Falling Sun. I guess just another reboot of that.
Uh-huh.
Twatha.
Yep.
And then also a book called Blood Honey.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for Beneath the Trees.
Yeah, me too.
So
yeah, I skimmed through the other ones. I don't think I've seen 30 Days of Night.
I think someone big did the art on that. Someone that we know. Like the OG one that like the movie's based on.
Right. I don't think I've seen the movie. That's what I was saying.
You haven't seen the movie?
I haven't read the comic
yet.
either.
Oh, great movie. Like really cool vampires.
Yeah.
30 Days
It was somebody that did the art that we know. But I couldn't tell you.
Oh, it's only no. Ben Templesmith?
Oh, okay. Was it like Colin Bunn that wrote it or somebody?
Steve Niles.
What
The
hell?
trade's only 100 pages.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Might do that in Horror Month.
Yeah. We could also do. There's a spooky one that you just talked about.
Monsters?
Yeah, we could do the monsters one.
Yeah, that'd be something.
Yeah.
Okay, what else did I read? I read Batman Reptilian, number 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wait, what are you laughing at?
We're a bit behind on that one.
Oh, yeah, it's like all out.
It's all out. It's been out for 2 years.
Yeah, it was just sitting in my box. And
Pretty fun, though.
yeah, it's very Arkham style art.
Super. Yeah.
Liam Sharp. Yeah, top tier.
He's awesome.
It's just great to look at. And because he's still like artistic, there isn't like a ton of panels.
No.
So you kind of fly through it, which is nice.
Yeah, that is super nice about this one. But
he was trying to do something, Batman, and he's like, "Where's my bat tape?"
Did he say that?
I was like, "What the fuck?" Like Batman's really weird.
It's Garth Ennis, right?
Garth Ennis.
Yeah.
And he writes just such a different Batman.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Like I could see people being like pissed off about it because he's like got like little jokes.
He's like dark, but like a little goofy,
little witty. Yeah, it's like kind of strange.
Yeah,
and it's written like a monster movie, which is kind of cool. I kind of like that.
I remember the designs for the villains, like outside of
very wonky looking.
Yeah, super cool though. I think he took like a Bill Sienkiewicz sort of approach to some of those.
Yeah,
which is great.
Ooh, and then I read Pee Pee Poo Poo.
What the hell is that?
Dude, this is the Eisner Award-winning.
Oh, that's right.
Caroline Cash, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just a very like indie zine.
Didn't this beat somebody we were going for?
It beat a lot.
It beat in a book for an award that we were like, I swear to God, if it gets beaten by Pee Pee Poo Poo, and then it did.
Yeah.
This looks cool though.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Brian Lee O'Malley art. In a way.
Oh, cool. Okay.
She said that she's like kind of inspired by like Adventure Time, but
nice.
That one's pretty fun. It's like a bunch of little stories, and
neat.
One of the main ones is that she took like an edible and got lost. And so she's just like trying to find her way home when she's like super high. But it's just like all stories like about her, made up or not, but
cool.
Pretty interesting. Dude, the last page of that, she's got like stickers in there.
No way.
Pee Pee Poo Poo stickers.
Dude.
It's kind of cool.
Put them on the water bottle.
Yeah. Also read I Was a Fashion School Serial Killer, number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's Doug Wagner. He's the guy who did like Plastic and stuff like that.
Yep.
Plastic, Plush.
There's a lot of Wagners.
Yeah, dude.
Matt Wagner.
I think John Wagner is going to Phoenix Comic-Con.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah. And then there's Doug Wagner. I get mixed up because I think Matt Wagner did like 2000 AD, I think, or something in there, or like
I just know he did Mage.
some Judge Dredd. That's John.
That's John Wagner?
I think so. Yeah.
No, I think it's Matt.
You want to bet?
Yeah.
Cake shake bet?
God. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So you think that Matt Wagner
did Mage.
Okay, and I think John Wagner did it.
You think John Wagner? Yeah.
Okay. Shake.
Shake for the shake.
Shake.
Large, right?
Large.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I scammed you last time.
I know. Oh man, I'm not ready for that if that's the case.
Matt Wagner.
What?
Yep.
No.
Yep. Matt Wagner, baby.
God damn. I'm going to fall asleep next episode. Damn it. I thought I had that locked
there's
down.
Tons of. I have, for whatever reason.
So John Wagner's the fucking Judge Dredd dude.
You said before that bet that you get them all mixed up, and then you wanted to bet me.
Guy
that only knew
I was
one
looking
Wagner.
at this stuff.
This is the guy that only knew one Wagner before today.
Shit. Okay. I was a fashion school serial killer.
Yep.
Pretty good first issue. I read Plastic as a Trade, and I think his work just works really well as a trade.
Cool.
You know, because it's just like the one story all the way through.
Yeah.
So might look at that later. I read Godzilla vs. Spider-Man #1.
Oh, I haven't read that one yet.
No? Okay. I only read it because I thought you might have read it.
I read Spider-Man vs. Predator.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
I haven't read that, but
Okay.
have you heard anything about Godzilla vs. Spider-Man?
No.
Okay, good. And then I read
Why?
because something was
Can I
spoiled.
guess?
Something was spoiled for me. Sure.
Does Godzilla become Venom?
Yes.
That's awesome.
So, I saw a page
Do they
on
call
Twitter
him
or something.
something?
No.
Okay. I was like, I don't know how you mix those two names together, but
And then I read Crossed #0 and
Damn, you read
#1.
a lot. You've been cooking.
Yeah, I've been cooking.
Frost. I don't know what that is.
That is the Garth Ennis
Oh,
like zombie book.
yeah. Yeah, you were talking to me about it.
Yeah. I bought it at Free Comic Book Day sale.
Cool.
Who's the artist on it? He does a lot of stuff with Garth Ennis.
Steve Dillon.
No, it is Jason Burrows. He did like Get Fury.
Oh, yeah.
With Garth, and then
That's cool.
that book Babs I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Garth, he like sticks with his guys, you know. So I
That's
respect
cool.
that.
Yeah, he's got a click.
Yeah, and it's like it's pretty fucked up. Like I expected that, and that's kind of what I heard. And it's like you need like a chaser book after you read this.
Really?
Yeah, and so
That's rare to find, though, I feel like, in comics.
yeah,
So you kind of need it?
it's
in a
like
way?
kind of like you kind of expect it from like Garth Ennis sometimes.
Yeah, he's
just going like all
a
out.
dirty little boy.
It's this like small publisher, so he can really just do whatever he wants, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Apparently, Cross has like 100 issues.
Whoa.
Yeah, they have like a bunch of different like mini series or whatever.
Damn.
But like also a ton of different writers have written it. Like Daniel Way had a run on it.
Why? What's so special about it?
I don't know.
What's
I think
the twist?
it's just so it's like they're zombies, but they can like talk, and they just kind of lose their humanity, kind of thing. They
Gotcha.
like have weapons and stuff,
So okay,
and they're just like very brutal. You know how in like
warm
evil-
bodies.
not really. It's kind of more like Evil Dead. You know how
okay.
the people in Evil Dead, they'll like just say like really
Crazy shit.
crude shit.
Mhm.
It's like that.
Okay, fair enough.
And so
But they're
yeah.
just considered zombies.
yeah, the book that I got, it's like 10 issues. It's like the first, like Garth Ennis did like the first 10. So
Interesting.
we'll see how that goes.
Nice.
What did you read?
I read a bunch of Free Comic Book Day stuff, not all of it, but
Okay.
the IDW Dark stuff, that's cool. I'm excited for Beneath the Trees. I read the Monster one, we talked about it, and then Big Rig, Post Malone's new thing
How'd that go?
with Adrian Wasteland. Is that his name? I think I got that wrong.
Good name.
And Nathan Gooden. It's wild. It's a black and white, which I didn't realize. So it's basically a manga. It's just you read it from left to right.
It's supposed to be like a Ashcan thing.
I don't know.
Like it's not going to be in color.
I don't think it's going to be in color. It didn't seem. It seemed like it was drawn to be black and white,
Okay.
which is cool.
Yeah.
But it's definitely manga inspired. Like it's just what you'd expect a manga about like a special truck in the zombie apocalypse to be. Because like when the guy gets in the truck, it's like, and it's like this crazy shit like happening just around the truck.
He shuts the door. It's like,
yeah, pretty much. That's like what you expect. And this is a guy in a trucker hat, and I'm like, it's kind of fun. I don't know if I'll pick it up though. You know,
okay,
maybe. But I just remember reading it, and I was like, there's a lot of action here. There's a lot going on. And when I was done, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty bold. You know, it's fun if you like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I think with a lot of mangas, there's just like this normally pretty mundane thing, but they just like throw a bunch of fucking cool shit at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what that feels like. I read all of Archie versus Predator.
Ooh.
Which
that's like 4 issues.
It was like 4 issues, but really smooth read.
Yeah.
The whole time. I didn't even realize like if they didn't have the numbers on the actual pages from like 1 to 24 or whatever, I wouldn't know that there's like an issue that like changed.
It like restarts the numbering for each issue.
But this is really fun.
Yeah.
I liked it more than I thought, and I thought I was gonna like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and there's like a couple things in there that actually made me laugh. Like there's solid jokes in there. Like there's a part where Betty tries to call the police, and so she like gets on the line with them, and she's like, "Do you guys have like an alien department?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'll forward you to Border Patrol." And I was like, that's so stupid, because she's like calling the police while there's a predator behind her, and she's like, I gotta call somebody. And I thought that was great.
It'd be funny if like Border Patrol like ended up taking down the predator.
Oh, that would be great too. It's also really unexpected, you know, like I figured it'd be like bloody, but he's like actually ripping people's like, you know, spines out and taking their faces off and shit like that. So pretty fun. And then like they do like the Predator meme where like the people like,
oh yeah,
the Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers thing. That was fun. And there's a part where like I think it's Betty, she like loses her little hair scrunchie, and then the Predator picks it up and then puts his like weird alien dreads up with the scrunchie. And I was like, that's silly too. So there's like a lot of it's like good humor in there, and I kind of like the design of the Predator, even though it's an Archie style.
Yeah, I think it works really well.
Yeah, I think it's super good. It deserves to be like,
it seems so hard to do that.
Yeah, it was like pretty well balanced, I would say too, and they like have enough. There's like a lot of Archie characters in here too, so it's cool seeing them like die, I guess.
Yeah,
so it was great. I had a great. It's a blast.
Nice. I'm glad you liked it.
And then I read another Predator crossover, Spider-Man versus Predator. You haven't read it, so I'll kind of wait. But it's wild.
Okay.
I had to check to see if Marvel put like a Marvel what's
Max?
their Max? Yeah, because it is not what I was expecting.
I mean, Wolverine and Predator wasn't a Max.
I think it's like a 20th Century Fox published thing, and then it says in association with Marvel. So I don't think they necessarily have to put that it's like a mature comic book.
Yeah, you know what you're getting.
Yeah. But Predator does not. There's a twist for Predator because he's not acting like I feel like he normally does.
Okay.
He's a little more fucked up. So I'll just say that. There is a thing I will say that's not a spoiler that I've just never thought about, but like, of course, Spider-Man's like trying to talk to J. Jonah Jameson, like as Peter Parker, but he's swinging through the city. So he like webs his phone to like the side of his head so that he could like continue talking to him and have both hands free.
I think I've seen that.
And I was like, I've never thought about that.
You could just put like your phone in your mask.
You could do that, yeah. That would look stupid. So you gotta web it to your face.
Yeah.
But it's great. I'm really interested in it. And there's the cliffhanger. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in.
Is there a scene where Spider-Man makes like a web net that captures the Predator?
Not yet.
Because you know how like Predator has that net that like
you just
captures
have
people and then it like tightens, you know?
Yeah. There's a net in Archie versus Predator, but the net didn't tighten. So he just kind of like pushes it off. I
Lame.
No web net yet. But the book's really good. I'm pretty happy with it. And then I read Lost Fantasy #1. Remember that?
Yeah. How was that?
It's great.
Really?
I enjoy it.
I like was gonna get that, but then I saw you got it, and so I'm like, I'll just borrow his.
No, it's pretty cool.
Did you bring me anything?
No.
Come on.
I didn't know. I thought you got it.
You should bring me that.
You're the one that told me about it.
Hey, you're welcome.
No, it's cool.
Put you on to shit I haven't read.
You know, now I'm thinking about it, I don't remember much of the story. But
are you sure you read it?
Yeah, no, I did.
I was just look at the cover. And
I was
like,
a little sleepy when I was reading it, but I definitely read through all of it, full consciousness. If I flipped through it, I'd probably be like, oh yeah. But I remember liking the designs of the fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
And the colors.
Who does art on that?
Luca.
Oh yeah, Castaneguida or whatever.
Yeah, you know that name.
Nice.
And then I read Absolute Martian Manhunter #2.
Nice.
Fucking
Still good.
Awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So keep picking that shit up.
I think I'm a bit of a hater when it comes to just what's popular in like the comics, because like
such a hate. You don't like? Did you read it?
No, I didn't read it. But
okay.
like the dude at like the shop was like, "Are you reading Sword of Crisis events?" I'm like, "Yeah, I read the first one. I don't really like it." He's like, "That's like my favorite thing coming out." I'm like, "Okay." And then he saw I was buying Martian Manhunter 2, and he's like, "This is so good." I'm like, "We'll see."
It is so good. You know, you're probably just gonna be you're gonna have your hater goggles on.
Like usual.
Yeah,
that's what these
are.
No,
not like usual. You'll read some random shit like a Garth Ennis zombie book and be like, "Is that pretty good?"
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Because you've never heard of it.
Yeah,
you're such an ass.
But well, like I almost didn't buy Martian Manhunter 2.
I can tell I'm really gonna enjoy it.
We'll see.
I don't know if it'll be my favorite Absolute book, but I'm enjoying like what it's doing so far, you know?
Okay.
It's just like what I knew it was gonna be weird, but it's still like not what I expected, and I enjoy that aspect.
That's good. That's what I kind of look forward to.
But the Javier Rodriguez art, like even though the story itself doesn't necessarily lend itself to being like super artistically creative, like he finds ways to like incorporate Martian Manhunter just like in the environment or whatever, and I think that's really it's
John
like
Johns just needs to be on acid like the whole time, you know?
Yeah, well that's kind of what this is. And then I take that back. There are a lot of scenes where like you need like a really abstract kind of mind to like make this work.
Yeah.
And make it fluid and understandable. But there's also points in the book where he's just kind of John Jones is like in the environment, like Fairly Odd Parents, like you know how they would take the form of like fish or something in the environment,
yeah,
or like a telephone or something, but they're still their colors. Like he does that in this book, and I think it's kind of cute.
Okay.
So that's everything I read.
Did you watch anything?
I watched Thunderbolts.
Ooh,
the Marvel movie.
How'd that go?
Did you see that they? With the
the fuck, dude.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, they spoiled that way early.
I know, like I fucking hate the
internet.
It
was pretty awesome being in the theater and being like, whoa, that's what the asterisk meant.
I mean, that's like I was thinking either that or the Dark Avengers, you know?
Oh.
And so
I had no idea what it was for, but
yeah,
it's good.
That's cool.
It definitely a step in the right direction. I was like walking in and I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna be pretty critical of this because I've seen like, you know, a bunch of delinquents form a family or whatever, you know, Guardians, Suicide Squad, all that. But there's a genuinely like pretty fresh take, I think, on all this that makes it worth the watch.
Okay.
And I would say it is for sure a top 5 post Endgame.
Okay.
But there's some pretty good post Endgame stuff, so I just want to say that. But
would you give it on Letterboxd?
I can't remember.
You don't know what you?
I think it was like 3.5.
3.5. You give it a 7?
I gave it a 7.
Okay.
That's a solid 7. What did I say?
All right.
Hold on. How do I see what I did? Profile? Yeah, 3.5. Villain's really cool. Sentry, I guess.
Yeah.
he's super cool. Dude, I put a spoiler in my review, so I won't say like
okay
what it is here, but dude, they did something and I was like, no way they just did that. I was like, that's kind of fucked up. But yeah, it's really cool. Florence Pugh, David Harbour definitely carry the movie. And I will say, I think Sebastian Stan just kind of phoned this one in.
Oh.
He does not seem engaged whatsoever.
Is that like kind of the Bucky character?
I don't know. It's really hard to tell, but it seems like he doesn't want to be there, like Sebastian Stan.
I feel like he's kind of like a stoic kind of character.
He is, but like I feel like I've never thought that before in any other time I see him.
Mm-hmm.
And this time, I think it's because he's like a congressman, but he doesn't like really want to be one.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, then why are you a congressman?
He's worried about his campaign. You know?
I guess. But he's like, it just seems like he doesn't want to be there the entire time, even when he's doing cool action shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought that was interesting.
Okay.
But pretty good. I think it's worth the watch. For sure.
Nice. What else you got?
And then I played Split Fiction.
Ooh.
I started it. We played it for a couple hours. So crazy.
Isn't it awesome?
It like...
Do you get stuck at all?
Not yet.
Okay, all right.
Did you get stuck?
A couple times.
Like in the first couple hours?
Yeah.
We've only played for like 2 hours, so we just found out where there's like optional levels.
You got to do those.
Yeah, we did the first one, which is like a Mad Max or like a Dune type thing where you like ride a worm or something, but you ride some sort of sand animal.
Okay.
Dune style. But yeah, I like the setup for the story. They covered a lot of ground in like 5 minutes of cutscene.
Yeah, you care less and less about that, but
Yeah, I don't, but it's kind of interesting what it's like based on, and it's, they're doing like idea theft or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun. But yeah, once you're like immediately in the action, I was like, this is cool. And so I did the one where you like have a sword and you throw the sword at the wall and it changes gravity for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of a cool mechanic. It makes me sick, but
Yeah.
it's a cool mechanic.
I think like the dudes just naturally pick that character, and then
The sci-fi character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
then,
definitely what I did.
Then the ladies would pick the fantasy character.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird that they know that.
They know their audience for sure.
Yeah.
Is couples. But yeah, a couple things surprised me. I mean, I know they did like A Way Out, which is more adult themed, but still a fun cooperative game. And then It Takes Two, centered around a child. But in this one, in the Fantasyland, you're like escaping ogres and you're like jumping around on like little poles.
Oh,
At
yeah.
one point, you jump on like guillotine and it chops off an ogre's arm and he's like bleeding out on the floor. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, I did that. And that's crazy. But we did see the elephant reference in It Takes Two.
Yeah.
And you could rip off its arms. Like that statue.
Oh.
You could take off like
Isn't it like up high? Like against a wall?
Yeah, but Sophie's character or the other character has like a whip.
Oh.
And you could like grab shit with it, and she does. And then she like starts crying again. I'm like, Jesus.
So did you get to that part with the whip where like you have to go in the porta potty and then throw you across like the gap?
I don't think so.
Across like a traffic of like flying cars?
Oh, there's a bunch of flying cars. I don't think I had to get in a porta potty though.
Okay. That was something that took me a fucking minute.
I got
to figure
past
out.
that highway of like flying cars though, because there's a bunch of guys at the end they have to fight, right?
No, you like go onto this rooftop and then you just have to figure out what's like next. I guess there were some people there, yeah. And you can like choose to whip them off the building.
I don't think I fought anybody on a building yet, so maybe I'm not there yet.
Are you like in the middle of that?
I'm in the middle of that section,
okay.
I think.
I might have just gave something away for you.
You might have.
So no, like
I think
so. The flying cars, right? You're in the highway. You're on top of the cars.
Mm-hmm.
We got stuck because I couldn't figure out that there was like another car with like the screen thing that you throw the sword at.
Yeah,
we had to break some glass.
Yeah,
that took me like a fucking hour to figure out for some reason.
Yeah. I think I am so used to like this company's way of like creating puzzles.
Okay.
So I think when we play again, I'm just going to have Sophie figure out all the puzzles because I'm like doing them too fast and she's just like taking orders from me pretty much. So I think I'm going to have her like experience the satisfaction of figuring out a puzzle because I've clearly done it all. Because we were like breezing through whatever we were doing, even though there were like puzzles.
Yeah,
so I think
that's what makes like that game like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
Style.
So I think I'll take a back seat and just take orders from Sophia.
For sure.
But it's great. I love it so far.
Sweet.
Parker and Emily just finished it and they told us to get it because it's great. So,
dude, I've been telling you for like weeks.
Well, I knew we were gonna play. We just had to finish Dead Space and then she just finished school.
Yeah,
so,
all right.
So it was on the radar. But that was it. Did you watch anything?
I finished Barry.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's been like my like baby feeding show.
Okay.
For like those midnight shifts, and it's really good. I wasn't like super keen on like the later seasons. Season 4 is actually like pretty sick, like start to finish.
Really?
And it just wraps up like super well.
Season 4 is the last season, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if because I was like lacking sleep or whatever, but I was like crying when it was done. Just because like I don't know, I just liked how it ended a lot, and I was kind of upset that it was over.
Yeah.
But it's really good.
I'll have to jump back on it because I think I got stuck around season 3.
Yeah, that's where I stopped.
I was like, it lost a lot of its flair for sure. But if season 4 is great,
yeah,
I have heard that too.
I recommend like finishing it for sure.
Cool.
I tried this anime called Lazarus on Max.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It's like newer. It's Chad Stahelski, the director of like John Wick, is like a producer on it.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a lot of fighting and stuff. Nothing really too like fantastical about it. I'm not even sure what the plot is. I watched like 2 episodes, but the first episode definitely like kicks ass.
Nice.
But I just kind of like lost interest.
I finished Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
With Sophie, yeah.
How'd that go?
It's pretty cool. There's a there's a specific episode where you get like the origin of like the bunny dude that's in this, and it changes art style like a couple times, like the whole episode. And there's a big chunk of it looks like it's Scott Pilgrim style.
Oh, cool.
And I really fucked with it. Like it's really, really, really cool.
Like takes off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that kind of style I would say. Or just like the style looks like, what's his name?
Brian Lee O'Malley?
Brian Lee O'Malley. It feels very Brian Lee O'Malley like style.
Okay.
And it's really cool. But yeah, I think the show ends pretty well.
I might give it a shot just to listen to Limp Bizkit, you know.
That is a plus. And then just like random Evanescence or like Papa Roach.
Nice.
Which is like the most entertaining part is like something cool is about to happen and then it's like fucking Papa Roach starts happening. And I'm like,
this anime should have came out like 20 years ago.
I know,
like,
I would have fucking hit so hard.
But like I think it adds more to have like the nostalgia factor, you know.
Yeah. What one criticism, which is probably just a budget thing and probably not fair to judge, but there's like some demons are like really big and they're 3D animated, and then other characters are just 2D animated. And it's wild.
Okay.
It's just like really jarring. But then at the season finale, those big characters are 2D animated because it's like the season finale. It's a big fight.
Weird.
And so I'm like, it's interesting. It probably saves like a lot of money because they're cell shaded and they look 2D enough, but you could tell that they're 3D animated.
I saw a clip of the show and it was definitely interesting, like the animation style. It was like someone's in a diner or something and then like the glass all shatters or something. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's fun. It's worth watching. It's quick watch as well. It's only like 8 episodes that are like 30 minutes. That. Yeah.
I watched an episode of What If. I was going through like season 2.
Yikes.
None of them. The first one's really good. I watched it a long time ago. That one with like Nova. Or no, not Nova. Nebula. That one's cool. But I was just like going through like the titles. I'm like, I'm not interested in any of this.
Yeah.
But there's a 1602 episode.
There is?
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's okay. It's kind of like the plot's like whatever, but just kind of seeing where people are in the story is kind of neat. They're trying to like connect the episodes too much, and I don't fuck with that.
Yeah, no one did, to my understanding. I heard season 3 is a stinker.
Yeah, I'll
stinker.
I'll like look through it or whatever.
I think there's like a Howard the Duck episode.
Yeah, that was like one I'll check out.
Nice.
But in the 1602 episode, it's weird because like there's characters that have like Pym particles, like Ant-Man's in it, and then like Yellow Jacket's in it.
How did you get these?
Like everything else I was on board for because it's just people in the past or whatever.
But like, how do you have Pym particles?
That's
in
what
the
I'm
1600s?
saying. Magic I can like overlook, but science I'm like, hold on a
That's
second.
What you mean. Have you read 1602?
No, I just know of it.
Pretty good.
Okay. Ooh, and there's a line where Hulk, he's like, Hulk smash thee.
That's good. I like that. I'm gonna watch this episode now.
It just took me for a surprise. I thought that was funny.
You like wake up Lucas from like how
I was like, what? I watched Den of Thieves 2 Pantera.
I don't even know what you just said to me.
I told you I think last week about Den of Thieves.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
They had a sequel that came out this year.
Yeah,
and it's pretty good. It's not as good as the first one, but it's like a heist, like a diamond heist in like France or something. And it was pretty interesting.
They got diamonds over there?
Yeah, I guess so. They have a diamond district. It's not like the same like formula of a movie, but I can still like appreciate it. Sarah's just like really into like heist movies right now.
Cool.
I'm like, do you like heist movies? She's like, I don't know. And so we watched Den of Thieves, and so she's like,
that's so funny.
She's kind of into it. I'm like, there's so many good ones.
If someone asked me like, do you like these kinds of movies? I would know if I like it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so we were like searching for like heist movies on like Netflix, and Logan Lucky Logan Lucky's on there.
I haven't seen it, but I hear it's good.
You haven't seen it? Oh, this is like a rewatch for me.
Oh yeah, I think when you saw it initially, you told me to watch it, and I was like, I will.
Yeah, it's good. It's still rules.
Cool.
Jack Quaid's in this. He plays like a redneck, and it's really fucking funny.
In Logan Lucky or
yeah.
Oh,
Logan Lucky.
You watched?
I rewatched Logan Lucky.
Oh, this week. Okay, cool.
Yeah, super good. You would like it.
I know I would.
So redneck Jack Quaid. Sebastian Stan's in this. That was like kind of a.
Oh, cool.
I was like, oh my god. I feel like I just remembered how much I liked it I don't remember it like anything about it.
Right.
But yeah, pretty good.
Nice. Heist movies. That's fun.
Heist movies.
I like a good heist.
Yeah. So what are we gonna read next week, Nathan? What are we gonna read next week?
Some with a damn big robot, I hope.
Or
Oh my god.
I'm just saying, like, Revival's coming out, and we just like learned about it, and like I could even have like the Revival episode come up before this one with like where I am with editing.
Okay.
So that it comes out.
I'm down for that.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, let's make sure if we can like even fucking get it.
Yeah, if we could get that in, then we could.
And then we'll right back to Mech Month, I promise.
Right back to Mech.
Normally I would never break up Mech Month, you know that.
Well, what's the next Mech book though in line?
All right, Revival is on Comicsology Unlimited.
Okay. Love that.
129 pages, nice and swift.
Love that.
So then, okay, let me look up the next one. I want to show you the cover.
Okay. Is it a Marvel book?
We'll see, Nathan.
Oh my god.
So this is
Next
something
Mech book.
that came out a couple years ago.
Okay.
But Nathan, have you heard of DC Mech?
Oh yeah, I forgot they did that.
Yeah.
Who? Oh, Howard Porter, right? And
Kenny Porter. Sorry.
Kenny Porter.
Yeah. Kenny Porter, Baldemar Rivas, and Mike Spicer.
Yeah, I remember this came out.
It's got mixed reviews, but
Mixed reviews. I love that. Yeah, let's do it. That sounds fun.
Do what?
DC Mech.
No Revival?
No, we'll do Revival.
Then DC Mech. Okay.
I don't know what comes out after this or what we decided for release schedule, but yeah, next Mech book is DC Mech.
Correct.
Boop.
Okay.
But that sounds fun.
Alrighty.
I forgot about that. That's so funny.
Yeah, because I think that kind of almost inspired Mech Month when I was making the list.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I'm like, DC's got a Mech book.
Didn't I come up with Mech Month? Because a giant robot Hellboy?
That also added to it.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
That's
to come.
Sounds good. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everybody. We got a Linktree in our bio. Like, comment, subscribe, stuff
Yep.
like that.
Tell us your favorite Mech. Favorite Mech you got.
Yeah, what do you think should be in Mech Month?
Yeah, what's a Mech Month book?
Yeah.
That we could do.
Email at tradewaiterspod@gmail.com. And goodbye.
Bye.